okay, so I was reading this book, crushing it, and at the same time I had this Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra right here with me, and I was like, hey, is the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra really crushing it against its biggest rival, the iPhone 14 Pro Max? And I know the answer might be very obvious, and you might think like, hey, the iPhones are the best smartphones in the world and there is no competition. But you are wrong here, and I know it is confusing, but I do not remember the last time when I could say that a Samsung Galaxy smartphone is better than its iPhone rival. I mean, just take a look at this hole punch camera on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. It is so tiny in comparison to the dynamic island. It almost looks like that the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra is way more advanced. I would say that the dynamic island is over engineering and waste of resources. Why does not Apple become the first smartphone with all the sensors hiding beneath the display? Does it make Apple a bit more worse than Samsung because all those things look exactly the same as the Samsung smartphones with just one hole punch for the camera? I don't think so. Most of the times it is not necessarily a bad thing to copy the other brand manufacturers, but there is a good part, and that comes with the symmetrical bezels on the iPhone 14 Pro Max. The overall screen to body ratio is more on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, though you would always notice when you compare those smartphones side by side that the bezels are slightly much more on the iPhones, even though it is symmetrical on all the sides. Now, of course, no screen distractions and gimmicks on the S23 Ultra as well. You still have to see the punch hole camera, but if you recall about the gimmicks, you have some features on the S23 Ultra that are really good. I'm talking about the S Pen on the S23 Ultra, and what you can do is just start writing directly on the screen, and the feel is just like writing on a paper. Samsung has killed the pressure sensitivity with the S Pen. You can use the pen to take selfies as well, even if you are far away, because it has the Bluetooth control right built into the S Pen. Now, you can also use the S Pen for snipping and making some beautiful colorful notes for yourself or to showcase to your buddy or your schoolmates and so on. Even you have a sidebar option on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra to put some extra applications. It is a very genius idea. Instead of developing something on the dynamic island which is not very elegant to start with, and I do not remember the last time when I actually used this dynamic island to pull some applications or some notifications and so on. Just not something that you would do every day, right? Now, things do not stop here, because this year the made for Galaxy chip for the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra is actually better than the iPhone 14 Pro Max. And this thing does not come from me, it comes from a very popular YouTube channel, the Phone Pup, and he has done an intensive testing on iPhone versus the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, and the results are amazing. This is the first time in so many years where a Samsung smartphone has beaten up the iPhones of the world. But that is not all. Even the battery backup on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra is a bit more better. The speakers are better. The voice to text feature is faster and better. You get double the storage on the base variant, and you know that you will see some price drops on these smartphones very soon. It is ever so slightly that makes me feel that the Galaxy smartphones right now are better value than the iPhones that you have in the market. Even more, my iPhone 14 Pro Max cannot do 100 times soon, and this time around it is not a gimmick. I could actually take a shot of the moon, and even I took a photo from a building that was very far, and I was able to capture the window, the dog, the couch, and the entire living room. It is how better the real face of the Samsung Galaxy S23 cameras is right there in the year 2023. It is not a gimmick. It is much more to the processing, the AI, and the actual camera sensor that Samsung is using in their flagship smartphone this year around. Now, rest assured, I can say that iPhone cameras are more reliable, so no offense there. One good thing is that the autofocus is 2 times better now on the Samsung phones, which makes the 8K recording so much better on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. Now the question is that if there is so much better about the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, what is great on the iPhone? Then I would say the software. Well, the software and the animations on the iPhone 14 Pro Max are so much better. The dynamic island is not that useful, but it looks a cool feature, at least something that other people would appreciate when they will see your iPhone 14 Pro Max in your hand. Now I love the purple color and even the black color on these smartphones this year. And also I want to mention that the gaming on this iPhone 14 Pro Max is way more better than the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. Now it could be because of the general optimization of Apple Silicon with how the games are developed and how the games work, but I could see some difference between both of the smartphones while doing the gaming. Now iPhone cinematic mode is great, but I wish that it could be better and the videos were not as soft of an output that I get to see right now. The battery backup on the iPhone 14 Pro Max is slightly worse than the iPhone 13 Pro Max, but hey, it's still a very solid battery backup. It will last you for a day and a half if you're not a very heavy user. And also I want to mention that the social media applications work still better on the iPhone. Sometimes I'm taking a photograph from this Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra on Snapchat, and I can see that the difference between the photo that I take on this smartphone versus the optimization on this iPhone 14 Pro Max, where the results are way much better. So this is something that I really want to appreciate about the iPhones. Now I also want to talk about a big thing about the iPhones, that is the ecosystem. Now if you have a MacBook, the AirPods, the iPad and the iPhones, it will start to make a lot more sense, all of those things combined together. Let me give you a few more examples. Just like the copy paste feature, which works seamlessly on the iPad, the iPhone and the MacBooks. Also you can do a screen share between the iPads and the MacBooks to use both the displays at the same time, and you can share the mouse and the keyboard with both the displays as well. Now you can also sign documents on the iPhone with the preview feature on the MacBooks, and the entire ecosystem is just way more better. Now I know that the Samsung also has its own ecosystem. If I have a Samsung Galaxy Book, I have this AirPods with me, the Galaxy Buds 2, I have a Windows laptop. You can install the application on the Windows laptop and everything starts to make much more sense, but the integration is not done really good, and I would not say that it is as seamless experience as you could see with the MacBooks in comparison to what you have with the Samsung smartphones right now. So that was my general opinion about the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. And what do you feel right now? Is the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra really crushing it, or do you still believe that the iPhones are a better choice for you right now? I think the only thing that I could wish on this Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra would be iMessage, and that is the starting and the ending of that list, which makes this smartphone really a great smartphone to choose from in the year 2023. So that was me, Anshul. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.